Red button means we're live. A casual take with your boy Steven Pepper. Here to give a take off my chest. I know you guys can see. Hey, look at your boy out here in Miami on vacation. About to go board a cruise down to Mexico in about an hour. But I thought I'd still come on here, guys. Really, I'm trying to get this daily upload streak up and running. So even in the hotel room, you guys are going to, Draymond Green once said, you're going to get this podcast. So let's talk about Jalen Hurts versus Cam Newton, which has just been this viral debate on Twitter. And a lot of people like Gilly the Kid, Ryan Clark are coming at Cam Newton for him leading off Jalen Hurts of his top 10 quarterbacks list. And it's getting to a point now where people are even putting out that Jalen Hurts is better than Cam Newton. So it's crazy for Cam Newton to even say these things about Jalen Hurts. So let me just say this, okay? It is wild that Cam Newton's PR still hasn't recovered from diving on that ball in the Super Bowl. I mean, it's been almost a decade. And still, Cam Newton's image died the day that he didn't fall on that fumble in the Super Bowl. America just didn't look at him the same. I mean, trust me when I say this. Cam went from one of the most beloved athletes in this country to a bitter loser overnight. And he hasn't been the same. Someone who just isn't in the right field. Someone who is out of his field for talking about Jalen Hurts in his way. Yeah. So apparently a NFL MVP, Heisman Trophy winner, national champion, went to the Super Bowl, Offensive Player of the Year. That guy's out of his field for talking about Jalen Hurts. No, he isn't. Because he's better than Jalen Hurts. I know Eagles fans come at me, but Cam Newton in his prime was absolutely better than this version of Jalen Hurts. And it's like, oh, but Jalen Hurts, he has a Super Bowl. If Cam Newton was truly better than Hurts, he would have found a way like Hurts did. Well, of course, Jalen Hurts found a way when he's playing behind Lane Johnson, has Saquon Barkley in his backfield, and can throw it over the top to A.J. Brown. But let me tell you guys this. No one was finding a way in that 2015 postseason against that Denver Broncos defense. Not even Tom Brady, the GOAT of mental preparation, could score 20 points against that Broncos defense. So, like, if you think that Jalen Hurts in Cam Newton's situation, where he's got the guy from the blind side protecting him, Jonathan Stewart on his left, and Burger King wide receivers to throw to against that Denver defense could find a way, then you're delusional. Like, are we really going to act like that offensive cast for Cam Newton was something special? Because let me tell you, it wasn't. Defensively, that's where they get most of their all-pros from. Luke Kuechly, that 2015 Panthers defense was elite, and it played a part in why they went 15-1. But offensively, it was a joke. Cam Newton was the MVP for a reason. I mean, yeah, Greg Olsen was nice. He was. And Brian Khalil, the center. But look at those wide receivers. You guys remember playing Madden? If you played the Panthers, you were not throwing because those wide receivers, who were they? You were just running read options all day because you couldn't throw. And Cam won an MVP with that offensive supporting cast. And it had to play that Denver defense, who I've been seeing on social media. Some people are going to the lengths of calling that Broncos defense the no-fly zone overrated. As a Peyton Manning fan, I'm a Colts guy, but I followed Peyton Manning in Denver. And let me tell you, that defense of Denver's was one of the best defensive units I've ever seen in my life. Von Miller and DeMarcus Ware off the edge is enough. Those are two Hall of Famers. But to have Chris Harris, Aqib Talib, Ronald Darby, and T.J. Ward, not only could you not throw, you couldn't even get the throw off. They humiliated Big Ben and the Triple Bs in their prime. They crushed Tom Brady. So, of course, they were crushing Cam Newton. I mean, they're going to crush Jalen Hurts when he doesn't have Saquon Barkley, Lane Johnson, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown. Of course they are. So it's the same thing I said about Kobe discussion. Like, why are we acting like we didn't live through these players? It's not like we're talking about people from our grandpa's generation like Wilt Chamberlain or Bill Russell, or in this case, football like Bart Starr and Roger Staubach. No, this was 2015. Unless you're listening and you were 7 years old, you remember 2015. You also lived through Jalen Hurts. You cannot tell me teams feared, you as a fan, feared Jalen Hurts more than you did Cam Newton. I mean, teams feared Cam Newton. They called him Superman for a reason. People fear Lane Johnson, A.J. Brown, Saquon Barkley more than they do Jalen Hurts. They fear the tush push more than they do Jalen Hurts. I mean, they called Cam Newton Superman because this guy won a Heisman Trophy and an NFL MVP. By the way, one of 7 players who ever do that in the history of the sport to win both those awards because he overcame a lot. Look what Carolina's been doing without not winning. Not winning. He has most of their winning seasons. And I'm looking at a guy in Cam Newton who, for my generation, if you weren't a bandwagon Seahawks fan, you were a bandwagon Panthers fan because of Superman Cam. But it looks like the day that he fumbled that ball in the Super Bowl and didn't dive on it, which I don't really give him that much crap for not diving on it because he had a bad angle. So I don't question Cam's competitiveness like some people do because he is a national championship winner, something that Jalen Hurts got benched in that game for, by the way. You could tell that killed his PR. And America just hasn't been talking about Cam Newton in the light that they used to. And it's just disrespectful. Like, he's better than Jalen Hurts. And this Cam Newton revisionist history and disrespect that I'm seeing. Listen, I think Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback, but leaving him off the top 10 isn't crazy. So what we need to do is hop off Twitter and stop disrespecting Cam Newton. But let me know what you guys think. I appreciate everyone for tuning in to this episode of A Casual Take. Follow my social media, stay updated on all things related to the show. Till next time.